Today I want to talk about money. My last video I talked about the cost and the budgeting of being a nomad. Well, today I want to talk about your savings. How much you should have in your savings to comfortably and be relaxed, that you can handle any kind of situation that comes down the road. And the main situation that you need to save for is your home. If something happens to your van, your minivan, your van, your high top Ram, whatever. And I think I want to talk about that, and not so much like a person with an RV, a big Class A, Class C, things like that. Although you're going to need a bigger savings. But if you are in an RV like that, most likely you're going to have a larger budget anyways. You're going to have more income coming in. Now, a lot of you have a big portfolio, and you think, well, of course everybody does. I get messages like that every once in a while. It's like, well, if you don't have a big portfolio, what have you been doing all your life? Well, shit happens, and you don't always, and not everybody has a big portfolio. I will give you a forewarning. This is not going to be an edited video. It's early in the morning. It's 4:30 a.m. and I'm on the road and I don't have time to edit a video, but I wanted to get this out for you because I've been thinking about this for a while. It was a video that I wanted to do a couple days ago, but something happened and I needed to get on the road to get down to Tucson, and I'll tell you about that in just a little bit. So I made you coffee. It's a coffee chat, coffee talk. Yes. Buddy, you say? Yes. There you go. Cheers. Coffee. And I need it. But I'll tell you about what's going on. But I want to talk about this budget thing. Okay, savings. What kind of savings do you need? In my humble opinion, you need as much savings as you need to get another to replace your van, right? If you're going to pay cash for your van, you're going to need that amount. Things are going up. My first van 6 years ago, I've been a nomad for 6 years. I'm Minivan Lee. I guess you figured that out, right? And in the beginning, when I first got started, I bought a Kia Sedona, 2006, and I paid $3,800. Well, the current Kia Sedona that I have, and I don't just, I love Kia Sedonas. Well, it just happened to be the one available, and I needed one right away. That's a whole nother story. I can leave the link for that story in comments and pin it there, but it just happened to be there. It was another Kia Sedona, and it was a 2000. So I'm currently in a 2014, but I spent almost $9,000 for this one, and they could be going up. I think there's bargains out there. You just have to find them, and I always pay cash. But a lot of you think, well, I'll just get on a lot and look at the lots and I will have it financed. Well, that's fine. If you want to finance your vehicle, that's fine. I had somebody leave a message once that said, why would anybody finance why would you owe on your vehicle? That's not what nomad life is about. Oops, I couldn't get unedited, right? Well, I thought, who says that's not what nomad life is about? There's a lot of people that like to put things in a box, and they need to, fit something round, and they push it into a square box. No. If you want to finance your vehicle, go ahead. It's fine. As long as you have the income coming in and you can make the payments, there's nothing wrong with that. It's sort of like, if you're paying almost $400 a month financing your vehicle, making payments on it, well, think about the rent. Oh my gosh, your rent could be up to $2,000 a month. So if you want to make payments and go on a lot and finance your car through your bank, that's fine. But a lot of us like to do it, which is the way I like to just get it out of the way. And so I pay cash. Twice I've bought minivans and I paid cash for them. Well, so that requires having a nice backup, a savings. Now, I'm going to suggest that you have a savings equal to the amount of replacement for your vehicle. That might be a good gauge to follow, right? And have a little bit left over, because you never know when something goes down. It could be you need dental work, you need your jackery goes down, something that you have to buy that's a big expense, or something happens to your vehicle, a maintenance problem, and you want to fix it. You think, well, I would rather fix it than buy a new vehicle. There's always that balance, right? You never know, like, well, it's an older vehicle, should I spend the money fixing it, or should I just look for another one? That's something you're going to have to decide. But these are dilemmas that nomads have to go through. We have to consider these things. So having a good savings, I'm going to say, just off the cuff, I'm going to say $10,000. You need to have at least $10,000 in your savings. 8 to 10. Okay, I will go down to 8 to 10. And then I would work on getting your savings built up, and I will talk about that too. Like I said, a lot of you have a good big portfolio, and you think, why in the world would somebody not have at least 100 grand saved up, or more? Well, shit happens. Not everybody has a big savings. And then also there's younger people out on the road, and they're trying to do work while they're being a nomad, and they just don't have the savings. Another problem that we have going on, seriously, is that a lot of people are being evicted out of their rental homes, or they're being foreclosed on their homes, and they're being forced into their vehicles. They might not have a savings going on whatsoever. So things happen down the road in life, and it's just the way it is. We've had COVID going on, inflation, and things like that are happening, and they're happening right now. And I've talked a lot about them, and I will continue talking about what's going on in the world with finances and with housing and with seniors, things like that, and pandemics. So I will continue talking about them. Let me take a sip of coffee here. So yeah, went down the wrong pipe, and I won't edit that out. Excuse me. Because I am on the road. I will talk about that, but I'm on the road, and I want to just get this out for you, because it's been on my mind for, a couple days now. I was going to do this video earlier, but I had to kind of zip down to Tucson to pick up some paperwork. So a savings, well, you say, well, I don't have a savings. What am I going to do? I'm older. I can't work. What am I going to do? Well, I did a video, my last one was on the budget, and a lot of you really appreciated it. There was a couple that said, and it's no big deal, but they said, oh, you're way off on the numbers. Well, what I did on the video was I put for the bare bones, and then I put for more luxurious nomad life. But I did say that down the middle was going to be a middle point. So this would be bare bones, and hardly anything, less than $500 in your expenses. And this one would be, you've got a great money coming in. You've got Social Security, you've got a pension, and things like that. So yeah, you can afford a little bit more for sure, and you can save up more. So, but there's that middle point that, somewhere in the middle. I could never know exactly how much your expenses are. You might be on medications, and I'm not, but I've heard that medications can sometimes run $300, $400, $500 a month for some medicine that you need, or you're taking once a month. So, or you're taking it every day. I don't know. I really don't. It's really up to you on you getting your budget together, because you know what your expenses are. And what I did, I just kind of I threw out there a list of things that I felt like, well, these are going to be normal things that nomads have to spend for. So what I'm going to say right now, as far as savings goes, that if you are on expensive medications and your savings isn't all that great, I'm going to say probably, I don't know if this lifestyle is for you. If you have like a couple dogs that you want to travel with, this might not be a real, and you don't have a great backup like Social Security or a pension. You know, dogs can be expensive. I mean, you've got vet bills, you've got to buy them food, you need space for them, and it might require even a larger vehicle to travel in. So you have to consider all of these things. Are these things going to be good for you? Are you going to be able to save money? Are you going to be able to afford this lifestyle? It's not a cheap lifestyle. It can be cheaper than living in a house, or, you know, if you have large rent. And rents are going up, people. Yeah, they really are. And I've just been watching some videos. I want to do a video on this, on evictions going on right now. Wow, there's a lot of evictions. People are getting thrown out of their homes. So, and a lot of seniors aren't happy in their homes and they want to get started with this lifestyle. Well, you've got to have the money to back it up. You really do, because you can get stuck out here. If something happens to your vehicle, what are you going to do? I mean, if you had something go wrong with your vehicle and it's going to require being in the shop for a while, wow. I mean, where are you going to stay? You've got to think about these things. Being a nomad does require having an income coming in. So you either have to have Social Security or a pension coming in, or you're going to need to work. You need fuel, you need things like that. So go to my last video and look at the budget. Look at the things that you're going to end up spending money on. Now, how can you get a savings going if you don't have much? Or if you've had to already spend a lot of your savings on whatever, maintenance or something came up, how are you going to get a savings put back together? And if you don't have much Social Security coming in or a pension. Well, I also did a video on how to live on $500 or less a month. And I know some of you went, what is she talking about? Really? Well, I do know that it can be done, but it's going to take a sacrifice and it's going to be a challenge. But isn't that what life is about? We have challenges coming at us all throughout our lifetime. And if you're a senior saying, well, I'm tired of the challenges. Well, guess what? You're still alive. You're going to have challenges coming at you. And I say that it can be done, but you're going to have to make the sacrifices. And I'm going to leave a link to that video because I still believe it's true. When I first started out as a nomad 6 years ago, it was only 6 years ago, I was on survivor's benefits because I'm a widow. And when you're 60, you can start collecting survivor's benefits from your husband if he's passed away, or your wife, whatever. And I was only getting like $560 a month. It's because he passed away when he was younger and he hadn't built up so big on his Social Security. So yeah, $562 I lived off of. And anything over and above that, when I worked, what I did was I stashed it. That's why I have a decent savings right now. When I worked at Amazon, I would do it for like 2 months at a time. It's changed. So I can't recommend working at Amazon because I've looked, there are very few jobs. The whole world has changed in 6 years, but this is what I did. But you still could get a job someplace else, maybe not doing a warehouse job, but you can do fast food or whatever, or Walmart, wherever you are. And if you go to a state that has higher minimum wage, yeah, you can do the same as I did. I stashed everything I made. I kept my expenses down. I didn't drive hardly at all. And so it can be done. I'll let you watch the video and I'll leave the link for it in comments. But a lot of people say, oh, you can't do that. Well, you can. If you want the challenge, if you want to sacrifice, because you do need to get a savings together. If you sacrifice for a while, then you can stash anything that you make over and above. Now, if you're disabled and you can't work, your health isn't that great, yeah, I really, you're going to have to come to your own decisions on that. I mean, possibly you need to just stay in like your senior living situation, apartment, or whatever. And you're going to really have to think this out. Or what you can do is maybe for a while move in with a family member or a friend and ask if you could do it so that you could save everything, get out of your apartment. That's the only other alternative that I can think about. You know, these are just suggestions because I'm not in that situation, but I know there's a billion situations out there for everybody. So, yeah, you need to have a savings. I'm going to say that $10,000 would be somewhat the minimum, 8 to 10,000, you know, and hopefully you can, you have the ability to go get a job if you need to down the road so you can keep it up. Yeah. What I did on my roughly $500 a month coming in, I had a decent savings. It was like 10,000, but then I spent for getting my van ready, things like that. So then I did go to work. And if you have more, if you got your pension going on, oh my gosh, you know. And there's nothing wrong with getting a van if you need to replace your van and you've got good credit to go ahead and finance your van. So, well, that's what I got to say about the savings. You need to have a savings. It's just a given. You have to have that if you're on the road. And there are ways that you can get your savings going, or you can increase your savings, but you do have to make those sacrifices. Yeah. So cheers to having a savings, something to fall back on. And who knows what's going on? I mean, we do have, they keep talking about recession, depression. And then we've got, in the background, we've got all this talk about digital currency coming. So nobody really knows what's going to be going on with that. And it's going to be a game changer for sure. So I think as long as the status quo is going on, we need to have a savings. So what's been going on with me? Oh my gosh. Well, I had to go down to Tucson and pick up some paperwork. I had two separate things. Oh my goodness. You know, I had to get something from my father passing away last year, and I had to get my registration sticker for my van. Now, my domicile, and I'll do a whole nother video on that, although I've talked about it, but I think it's worthy to mention to a lot of my new viewers that your domicile is the state and the county where you have your address. Those are the laws you abide by, whether they be vehicle laws, voting laws, all kinds, all of the rules and the laws that you abide by. That is where your domicile is. Now it needs to be a residence that the government looks at, the powers that be look at like that's a residence. You can't just use a P.O. box number, and that's a whole nother video. But my domicile is in Ohio. My daughter handles my mail. It is my address, and it's where Ohio is the domicile, is my domicile. Those are the laws that I abide by. Ohio. Now she handles all of my mail. So when things come in the mail that are uber important, they have to be mailed to me. And the one took a very long time to get there, my sticker for my registration. The other mail came pretty quickly. So I picked them both up, and there was a UPS store in Tucson that handled all of my mail when things were sent. And that includes like things that, like Tracy Hull. Thank you, Tracy. You sent me a little card with a cute necklace, a raven. You know I like ravens, so, and things like that, and would come, and they were so good to me. They really were. So they held those two letters, those two envelopes for me until I could get down there. As soon as the second one came, Paul and I went to Tucson. So that was kind of fun. Spent some time with my daughter. We went out to eat, but we only spent maybe 2 days, 2 full days, maybe. Not even. I think it was a day and a half. But I'm telling you what, here's the kicker. It's cold in northern Arizona. It's pretty chilly, not getting too much past 60, 63 degrees, like 32 at night. In Tucson, oh my gosh, 90s, and didn't get past like 70 at night. So I've got my sleeveless on. I'm in Phoenix this morning, and I wanted to get this out to you. Like I said, it's about 5 o'clock right now, and this is an unedited video. Well, there was one edit in the middle because I had to go pee. So I didn't want you to see that one. So I'm going to stitch two videos together. So that's what happened. I'm anxious to get back into the cool. But what I did was, while I was in Tucson, I got in the back, way down in, there's like, I call it my basement, where I had all my winter clothes stores. I had to get a few things out because I want to go up to the Grand Canyon, and it's cold up there right now. So I got out another hoodie and a couple more things, warm pajamas to wear. But you know, soon it's going to get hot in Flagstaff too. So we did some traveling. I got air burps going on. Cheers, yeah. But, you know, nomad life, it is a fun life. It really is. I really enjoy it, and I enjoy all of you. I did want to get this out to you. I know it's been like almost 3 days since I've got a video out, and I know you go, what happened to Lee? And I really appreciate you guys. You are concerned, and you want to know what's going on. Well, I did want to get this out to you about the savings. Yeah. It's important. You've got to have some money put away. And I've got a little bit more than 10,000 now. I've really been stashing. I'm very frugal. I keep my expenses down. I keep my spending down, down, down. And as you know, I don't drive as much as I used to. So, yeah. I know when we went out to lunch with my daughter, she goes, I don't know how you guys handle all that driving. And we looked at her, and Paul and I said, and he said, we don't really drive that much anymore. And I said, we drive about the same as any other local in town. You know, we go here, we go there. Well, okay. I think that's about it. If you have any questions about savings, please leave a comment. If you have more suggestions, and not so much, you know, maybe criticism of, oh, you can't do that or whatever, but actually leave suggestions for everybody. You know, everybody, it's easy to criticize and say, well, you didn't do that right, you didn't talk about it. It's easy to do that, but I think what would be better, especially these days when we just got so much coming at us, don't we? We got this, we got that, we got, oh, you know, who knows what's going to be happening. I think it's good that maybe we all just really be a little bit more kinder to each other and just chill out and offer some help, offer some suggestions, which is what I want to do, is offer suggestions. Even if I talk about things that just seem like, oh, let's not talk about that, that's too scary. Well, it's not so much trying to frighten anybody, but it's really trying to offer some suggestions and give you a peek of what could be down the road. And here's a peek of that. But I always want to offer suggestions about how to, you know, get through the life is a challenge, isn't it? And it's and being American, and I know I've got viewers from all over the world, and you got different nations have different things going on. But if you're an American and you think, well, this is America, this can't happen. Oh yeah, it can, yeah. We're not immune to these challenges. Life is just a challenge, one right after the other, isn't it? From baby to the very end. So, well, alrighty. I hope you have a really good day. Please subscribe and give me a thumbs up. And I'm gonna, well, if you're watching this, you already know that I did. But after this, I'm gonna get this shot up and upload it and get it going for you. When I get back to Northern Arizona, I don't know what I'm going to talk about, but I'll talk about something. You know I will. I love you. Bye. There he goes.